Hello, hello, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual mentor, and it's my honor to channel spirit on your behalf. Thank you for joining me live on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific. It's my honor here to be with you every Wednesday and Sunday at this time. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Welcome to our community. This is a loving, supportive, non-judgmental community of like-minded seekers, people that are here, whether you're here for, you're struggling with some area of your personal development, or you've got a question about your healing journey, or there's some area of your life that you're stuck in and you really want guidance from your higher self, your spirit team, your loved ones in spirit. It's my honor to channel this information and to guide you on your spiritual path. Okay, so welcome, everybody. Good to see you all joining me live. Hello, Sybil. Hi, Poppy. I'm taking a moment here just to acknowledge everybody. Hi, Dietrich. Nice to see. It looks like you all know each other, which is very cool. I love seeing that. Okay, good. So we have Lyriel here tonight, who's moderating for me. And if you are watching us on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, you can see me, but I can't see you. In fact, I think the window on Instagram is really, really small. So come and join us on YouTube at Sabrina Rising and put your question in the chat. I answer questions on a first come, first serve basis, unless, of course, you are a paying member. If you are part of our Inner Oracle community, for those of you that are members, you get priority access in the chat. You also get access to a private Facebook group where I go live during the week and we do Q&A. I do readings. We have card pulls. We have a lot of fun events happening in our Facebook group. There's a lot of energy building up in that group, which is really beautiful to see. You also get access to our members only content. So all of the classes that I've taught over the years, workshops, everything from achieving inner peace to healing your inner child, to learning how to manifest, to creating a life that you love and learning how to meditate. Wherever you are in your healing journey, there is something there for you. It is a spiritual library that I'm very proud of, and you've got access to it as a member. So something to consider while you stay for the whole broadcast. And I say that every week because all the messages that come through are for all of us. They're for me, they're for you, and they're for everybody that is watching. The messages that come through are really, we see a theme tonight. We're going to talk about coming out of fear and developing courage to move through those very tender spots on our healing journey. Most of you that come here for readings or ask questions week after week, it's because there's something you're struggling with. Maybe you just want a message from your spirit team, which is okay too. But for the most part, we see a pattern of those of us that are kind of stuck in a place where we don't have access to the unseen, where we need answers, where we feel confused, or perhaps we're suffering because we're not really dealing with our pain. Okay, so, as a psychic medium, I love to channel spirit. I love to offer profound guidance, accurate guidance, connection to the spirit realm. And as a spiritual guide, I also love to empower you to take personal responsibility for the quality of your life. Okay, somewhere deep inside you, there is a way to shift your energy that will allow for the circumstances to ease, to dissolve, to be a reflection of that which you deeply desire. And we do that with deep inner work. And we can only do deep inner work when we're willing to take an honest look at what we're really bringing to the quality of our lives every day through our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our choices, and our behavior. Okay, so oftentimes there are things that are out of our control. We need guidance on how do I navigate this. These are good questions to ask. Okay, so if you're here for readings, for connections, and for channeled guidance, a really good way to frame your questions is, what actions can I take to help me achieve this thing? Or, what is it that I need to know to help me heal this particular aspect of my life? Or what is it that that I can do perhaps? Or what is it that I need to shift within me in order to make the most of this human experience? Okay, whatever situation that you're in. Okay, so something to think about while you listen to my initial talk here. I usually teach for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I go into live questions. Okay, so again, if you're watching on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, please join us on YouTube at Sabrina Rising. And Lyriel's going to I think she's going to post in the stories on Instagram that we are live. Okay, so tonight we're talking about coming out of fear and the courage it takes to do that. Okay, so first of all, fear, as we are discussing it, we're not talking about primal fear. Primal fear is an integral part of your human operating system. You need it in order to survive. Okay. So if your life is in danger or there is some kind of threat to your physical well being, that primal fear will help save your life. It will kick you into survival mode and you'll either jump out of the way or do whatever it is you need to do to survive in the moment, jump out of the burning building or, or find a way to keep yourself physically safe. Okay. So we're not talking about primal fear. We're talking about perceptual fear. Okay, so conditioned fear is perceptual fear is it is a learned response to a perceived threat that's not actually happening. Okay, because of our conditioning, we grow up, we feel like this thing might happen. We learn to hold fear in our bodies. We learn to hold fear in our belief system, and we assume that something bad will happen. And we may not even be conscious of this. We may not even be conscious to what degree we're holding fear in our bodies. But for the purpose of this conversation, I want you to get really honest with yourself and see, okay, where am I tense in my life? Okay, when I think about a certain area of my life, where do I feel tension in my body? Okay, you might be sad, lonely, frustrated, or angry. And those are all valid emotions that, of course, I would invite you to work through with compassion and empathy and non judgment. But the deeper trigger is always fear. Okay, so fear is at the root of all malaise. It's at the root of your discomfort. It's at the root of your question. Even all of the questions that are coming through, it's like, what's going to happen? What's this? What's that? What does this mean? What should I do? At the root of all these questions, there is a deep fear, which tells me that we're disconnected from spirit. We're disconnected from having a relationship with our own higher selves. Okay, so again, my job is to be the bridge between you and your higher self, between you and your loved ones and your spirit guide, and also to teach you how to build that bridge for yourself so that you can have access to this intuition, which you cannot hear when you're in fear. So this is why this topic is so important, because coming out of fear is really the only thing we're here to do in every area of our lives, whether it's with your health, with your finances, with your relationships. Of course, these are the questions we get all the time. Coming out of fear is essentially our karma. It's the karma that we're all living. Let me just sorry, I forgot to hit go live on Instagram. Okay, here we go. There's always one more button. Okay, thank you for your patience. So we're here to come out of fear. Essentially, this is the only conversation we're ever having. How do I learn to love myself more? How do I learn to accept my circumstances? How do I learn to live with this situation? How do I learn to not react in a certain situation? Again, the root of our triggers is always fear, and fear is something we learn in childhood. So essentially, when we develop a spiritual practice, whether that's through, 5 to 10 minutes of mindfulness every day, just learning to breathe and center yourself and get connected to something bigger than you, even if you don't know what that is, or you have no frame of reference for that. Just, the willingness to feel something beyond your current experience will already connect you to something more powerful than you. Okay. Each and every one of you has the capacity to connect your own intuitive guidance by leaning in, learning to breathe, learning to self-soothe. Okay, this is so important because we cannot feel intuition when we're triggered, when we're in reaction, when we're in fear. We cannot feel our intuition. It's impossible. Okay, just like I can't give a reading if I'm in a reactive state. Okay, I can't access my own intuitive guidance for myself or for you if I'm not calm and centered and grounded and fully trusting in this process. Okay. And the more you develop this, the more accurate it becomes, the more reliable this information feels. And again, it's not like pulling random information out of the universe. Everything that's ever happened in universal intelligence, whether it's in the past, in the current, or even in the future, exists in universal intelligence. And we can tap into it through our own inner work by grounding, by opening up our hearts, by relaxing our minds, not trying to figure it out with the mind, but really just letting the information reach us. And again, cultivating the belief system that it's possible to have access to answers that live outside of our 3D experience. Okay, so your 3D consciousness is a fear-based consciousness. Okay, it's what if this happens? What if that happens? What if something bad? What if I fail? What if I'm abandoned? What if I'm betrayed? What if I'm homeless? What if I'm? Okay, so the fear is what keeps you trapped in 3D consciousness. And it's through inner work and self-reflection and deep meditation and going deep within ourselves, learning to regulate our nervous system, learning to peel back the layers of all the years of conditioning, of limiting beliefs, believing that you can have access to something bigger than you. Oftentimes it takes a catastrophic event or some kind of emotional bottom. That's what happened for me. I hit a real bottom, and I had to take 100% responsibility for the quality of my life if I was going to survive in this human body. I had to stop what I was doing, and I had to really take a good hard look at myself. And it was through that act of surrender, which is the precipice to experiencing the power of spirit in your life, that beautiful act of surrender that just says, okay, I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm letting go of control. I'm letting go of figuring this out. I'm going to simply allow whatever needs to unfold, and I'm going to give myself permission to feel the full range of my emotions, trusting that there is a deep, deep inner resource of peace at the core of my being, because that's true for all of us. We are all expressions of source consciousness. Of course, I say this every week, and it's through the deconditioning phase, which sometimes requires, as I mentioned, a massive shift in circumstances for us to just be willing to do whatever it takes. Okay. And sometimes that means letting go of control and not trying to force or manipulate outcomes, and allowing ourselves to simply relax and be in the full experience of whatever is happening in that moment. And then trusting, like, you can set an intention with God, with nature, with universal intelligence, with unconditional love, whatever your frame of reference is for that, and say, show me what I'm supposed to do next. Okay. What's in store for me? Show me how I'm meant to serve. Show me, where do I go from here? Give me a sign. Show me what I'm meant to do with this awareness that I now have. Okay. So I wish this kind of awakening for all of you. Of course, there is a way to facilitate this. There's a structured way for those of you that have never done any kind of inner child work or any type of inner work, period. I have so many resources in my library for you to go and check out. Of course, you can always reach out to me directly, or you can book a reading. We'll talk about that later. We have some holiday options for you that L'Oreal has prepared for us tonight. And so again, it's just about having that context of understanding that whatever it is you're going through, there's something so much deeper that you can resource that's within you, that's always been there. Okay. And so when we heal, when we say healing, what we're talking about is learning to embody unconditional love while we are surrendering to this experience of learning to embody unconditional love. And as we do so, we are essentially remembering our essential nature. We're remembering the perfection of what we are, of what we were made of how we are whole and complete in every way. Right? We are remembering our essential nature, and then the suffering stops, and then eventually the pain dissolves and the clarity kicks in, and the next steps are very, very, very obvious and very accessible to each and every one of us that's doing this work. Okay, so coming out of fear should be should be the goal. It should be the goal of your personal development journey. How do I release fear in whatever area it is that you're struggling with? Okay, again, if it's your health, your finances, your relationship status, it doesn't matter what the discomfort is. At the root of that, there's always fear. So the intention should be, how do I embrace this experience and learn to accept it with deep unconditional love and self-empathy and compassion, so I can feel less afraid. And when I learn to ground myself and root myself into this experience of unconditional love, I'm essentially reparenting myself, and I'm creating this environment of love and safety and ultimately healing. Okay. And this allows me to be less afraid and more secure with myself. I learn to trust myself. And when I learn to trust myself and be in deep communion with the divine, with spirit, with nature, again, whatever your frame of reference is for that, when I learn to be in deep communion with that, then of course I feel completely safe and supported every step of the way, regardless of my circumstances. Okay. And from this place of deep knowing and deep trust, I can affect my circumstances. My circumstances will mirror back to me what I'm feeling. And of course, that's my wish for you. And that's my wish for all beings everywhere, is to learn how to embody this unconditional love, learn how to feel safe in your own body, in your own life, by developing this relationship with spirit and doing the inner work to regulate your nervous system and cultivating that inner peace, as we all have access to it, regardless of your story. We all have access to it. And then from there, creating a life that you deeply love. Okay. So I would love to hear some questions. If you have any questions about how to develop inner peace or how to overcome fear, or if there's something that you're really afraid of or anxious about in your everyday life, please feel free to put that in the comments. I would love to answer any of those questions? Hi, Angela. Hi, everybody. Oh, hi, Shiloh. Good to see you. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, everyone. Hello, Demi. Good to see you here. Welcome to our Oracle community. Okay, good. So we'll jump into live readings. For those of you that are grappling with something or you want a channeled message from the spirit realm, please feel free to put your question in the chat and let's jump into some questions. Dietrich says, I'd like to know if my guides have any specific messages for me. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Okay, let me see what I have for you, Dietrich. I feel a lot of anxiousness when I tune into your energy. So I'm just trying to ground. I want to invite you to do the same, is to ground as well. I feel a lot of flighty energy. In fact, I see wings. And I don't know if this is something that is symbolic or if there's something that you are using as a tool, but there's this like image of wings. Yeah, I actually, it almost looks like an oracle card or some kind of symbol that you might be using in your practice. But there's a real desire. What these wings symbolize is that there's a real desire to sort of take flight and break free from your current circumstances, to shift, to move on to something, perhaps even to move further away. And so, Spirit wants you to ground and to learn how to, and this is perfectly on point with the topic that we're introducing tonight, because this is like, you're being asked to sit in the fire of your discomfort and to learn how to embrace the full range of your emotions with compassion and non-judgment. It's not clicking into place yet because you're too busy trying to either fix it from a cerebral perspective, okay, so using your mind to come up with solutions, or you're not letting it land in your body, whatever it is that you're grappling with right now. Okay. So the specific message for you, Dietrich, is to stay grounded and to, this flight is coming. There's going to be an opportunity for you to move away from your current situation, to sort of break out of whatever it is that's keeping you, that's where you feel like you're being stuck. It's almost like a bird in a cage. Again, there's the wing symbol for you. Okay. So there is an opportunity for you to come out of this situation that you're in. There is a lot more space that's being created around you. So I don't know exactly what it is that you're letting go of, but it feels like your environment. Okay. It feels environmental more than it does relationship focused. So you're breaking out of an environment and you're moving into something that's much more beneficial, where you can breathe. Okay. And there's much more space here for you. But the way to get there is not by forcing or pushing or trying to manipulate the circumstance. It's really by sitting in what you're in right now and just trusting that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Okay. And that the non-resistance is actually the gateway to this next iteration of you. Right. And that's true for you, Dietrich. It's also true for everybody. If you are wanting to move out of your current circumstances, if you're looking for a shift, it happens through non-resistance, not by planning with your mind, but by learning to just soften and be with your current environment exactly as it is, and developing that equanimity in the moment. So you can sit in the discomfort with compassion and non-judgment and ask for that clarity and say, okay, I see now. I didn't see it a week ago. I didn't see it yesterday, but now in this moment, that shift is very clear for me. Okay. I want you to have patience with yourself and patience with your current circumstances. There is something that's much more your speed coming, but you have to get through this next little phase. It's not quite time yet. Okay. That's my message for you, Dietrich. Okay. Good. Please feel free to validate if that resonated for you. Barbara, Illyria, are you there? Okay, here we go. She says, I just feel like I want to move my family out of our community. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's exactly what I was talking about. Like there's a real need to like break out of where you are. And she says, I'm learning to sit still. Okay, good. Yeah, I really feel that for you. So, you know, The move is coming. It really is. I suck it. The more I tune into it, the deeper we go. Like it's coming. There is it's you need to learn how to find your power in this current situation. It's like be where your hands are. I don't know if you ever heard that expression, but like you have to master your current your current environment before you can leave. Okay. It's kind of like this. There's an important lesson for you here in terms of growth and expansion and capacity. All right. So we're always in the circumstances that we need to be in order to develop ourselves. All right. And sometimes the the best thing you can do is leave, but that's not quite your situation. Your situation, from what I'm sensing, is you developing the courage to be where you are. Tonight's topic is perfect for you to learn how to anchor yourself, to be equanimous with the circumstances, which means be the calm in the storm. And then the opening will come. And there is a new community. There is actually a better environment for you, but it's not till spring. In fact, this has something to do with your daughter and her school, I believe. This is now coming through. I feel like there is a shift for her next year. Okay. But it won't be, you have to go through this period for now, not till spring. Okay. That's my message for you tonight. All right. Beautiful. Okay, good. All right. Thank you for being here, Deirdre. Hi, Poppy. How are you? Let me take a sip of water. I do so much talking. Okay, Poppy says, hi, Sabrina. I lost my dad last year. My deepest condolences for you. I hope that you're connecting with him in spirit in your meditations. Hopefully you're feeling his energy. He was constantly coming to me. There you go. Okay. I would like clarity if there's an inheritance for me and where to start looking and what it would be. Thanks. Okay, so I can't give you numbers and specific details, of course. But my initial hit is yes, if there's an inheritance. Here's what I want to say. I feel like there is money in your family, but I feel like it comes from the maternal line. Okay. And I almost feel like whatever your father had, either your mom has control of it or it's in a place where it hasn't been fully released yet, okay, or revealed. So which maybe that's why you're asking me where it is. For some reason there seems to be a lot of emotions around this money. It's not clean, like here's your inheritance, like here, just take it. Like it feels like there's a lot of hoops to jump through to get to this inheritance. Okay. So this is again exactly what I channeled for Dietrich and what I talked about at the beginning. Like, this is your opportunity to really sit in the discomfort. I feel like there's some resentment and bitterness coming up in you. Like, hey, I'm owed this. My father wanted me to have this. What's going on? Why am I not being, given what's my natural birthright? Like it feels like there's some frustration there, which is valid. And it's also not helping you. It's not helping you gain the clarity and feel the create the opening to receive. Okay. There's a lot of guilt around receiving in your energy field as well. So I want you to really work on this and really just trust that you are worthy of whatever it is your dad left for you. There is money. It's not a lot. It doesn't feel like a huge sum, but it does feel like something, substantial, like significant. Okay. It's not nothing, but it doesn't also feel like, it doesn't feel like life-changing money. Let's put it that way. But it does feel like there is an amount there. I can't tell exactly how much it is, but Bobby says, yes, and I feel the family is not being honest and fair with me. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm picking up on. If there's like a sense of bitterness and resentment, like what's going on? So thank you for validating. So, I want to validate you're not crazy. Okay. There is kind of some manipulation going on here. Okay. And there is amounts that are being withheld. I almost feel like your mom or the maternal side of the family at least has some idea of what's really going on. And it's just a matter of sitting down with her and just having an open, transparent, loving conversation about, what's happened and where, what your father wanted you to have. Okay. So, and again, I want you to let go of your sense of entitlement. I know it's tough because of course he's your father, but letting go of the charge around that, the entitlement, the bitterness and the resentment, learning to let go of your attachment to this money is actually going to open up the energy for you to receive it. Okay. So this is so important. The last thing you want to do, and maybe you've had this thought already, is take legal action. Okay. No, that's not the way here. That's only going to dig you deeper into this hole because your circumstances are not just mundane, they're karmic. This is a soul contract you have with all of these people in your family. And this is part of the experience. And the way you undo this knot in your family lineage and your ancestry is by letting go of your attachment and doing the inner work. Poppy says, because my dad separated with my mom a long time and he was with my stepmother. Okay. I see. I see. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, it feels like it's the maternal line. I don't know if it's your biological mother or your stepmother, but it's definitely the maternal line that has access to something here for you. But what I'm saying to you is what you need to hear. This is part of the message, okay? Is you doing the inner work to let go of your attachment and to trust that you have the capacity to receive this and that you're willing to receive this and you want to open yourself up to receiving it, not by battling or by creating accusations or having antagonistic conversations with your stepmother or your biological mother or whoever has the money. It's really about you trusting and connecting with your dad, with his energy, okay, which I'm happy to connect you with. If you want to book your mediumship session, we can go deeper into this and talk to your father and get very specific on what to do, where the money is, and so on. Okay, so Lyria will put the link here for you so you can come and see me and do a mediumship reading. Okay, this is where we in a one-on-one in a Zoom environment where I can where we can respect your privacy and the privacy of your family. We can go deeper into this conversation. Okay, so that's the link to book. Yeah. So again, letting go of your attachment, just trusting, setting an intention that you're willing to receive, and believing that you are going to be taken care of. Okay. In fact, that's a great affirmation for you, is that I'm safe and taken care of and provided for. Just to shift your mindset and open up your heart and untangle the energy around this. I feel like money will be given to you, but you have to do this work between now and then. Okay. This is the inner work you need to do to help shift the circumstances and make this possible. All right. But it will be some, um, and, yeah, it's like sometime after the holidays, like January. Okay. This is what I want to say to you. Okay. So again, come and book a mediumship reading with me so we can go deeper into the details. All right. I hope that's helpful, Poppy. Poppy says, okay. All right. Let's finish the conversation. Okay. Sorry, Lyriel. What was the next question? There we go. Hi, Laura. Laura says, will we ever be moving? And if so, when? Okay. Let's see here. Is it you and a daughter? Please verify. If you're here, everybody who wants readings, please validate so we can keep the conversation going. Poppy says, thanks, Sabrina. You're so welcome. My pleasure. Where are you, Laura? If you're still here, please validate. I feel like it's you and a daughter. I don't know why I feel like there's a daughter. Yeah, everybody wants to get out of their circumstances, right? This is just all Moon and Scorpio energy. Like we're all kind of struggling and suffering, and people want to change their lives. So, and interestingly enough, you're really calling that in. I feel like it's a long time coming for you, this desire to move, Laura. And I actually feel, I think I've channeled this for you before. I feel like there's you working from home. I actually see, husband, daughter, step grandson, we're raising. Okay. Yeah. So this is, I actually see you and your daughter in this vision that I'm about to describe. Okay. So here's the deal. This is the vision I get. And clairvoyance is my strongest clair. So just hang in there with me. It feels like I'm looking out of a bay window or something. It's white and there is, Yeah, there's like a view of a garden, or it's kind of white in the house. Maybe it's like an older colonial type house, or but you were looking out on the garden, and it's you and your daughter. Somehow she's in this scene with you, and it looks like you're working from home, and it looks like a new space. This isn't your typical house. Okay, this isn't the house that you're in right now. So it looks like you've moved to a different community that is more in the country, feels more gardeny, looks very green around you. I'm not sure exactly where you live now, but it looks like there is a shift here. And, you know, I feel like your husband is either being uh, relocated, and it gives you an opportunity to work from home in this new environment that you're in. Okay. So, again, it looks like I said, I feel like there's like these white panels, this bay window looking out into the green. Okay. So, this is what I see. And somehow it's you and your daughter is moving with you. Okay. She's coming, and she is obviously the grandson as well. There's something that you might be doing together. And this, I don't know if there's conversations around this, but there's something you're doing. You're working from home, and she's involved in it. And it looks like it's working out for the two of you. Okay. So this is not till, oh, I want to say, not till like, I want to say 2 to 3 months from now. Okay. But you're in the process, it feels like. And this is opening up for all of you. Okay. So, let's hear some validation. Interesting. I feel like I may be on my own in the future. Not sure. Um, yeah, I mean, again, it's you and your husband, not you and your husband, you and your daughter in this vision. Okay. So, um, and it's something you're doing together. So, again, I can't tell exactly, all the people that are moving together. It feels like your husband's either being relocated, maybe relocated somewhere else, or with you, but you're in this new environment. Okay. It's not for another 2, 3 months, and she's coming with you. Okay. That's what I see. All right. So again, it's what we want is whatever serves our highest and best good. Okay. So deep in your heart, how you want to feel and how you want to live your life. Okay. And who you want to spend your time with. Okay. So deep down inside. And if you're honest with yourself about, where you want to put your energy, you already know, right? You already know what the next right step is. So my invitation is not to wait for, something to happen, but to actually start taking responsibility to facilitate, to instigate this process, so that you can create a life that you really, really love. I feel like your daughter needs you. Okay. She's been relying on you, depending on you for quite some time. So it's not time for the two of you to part ways, okay, yet. So she's coming along wherever you go. Your husband may or may not. Okay. So again, that's up to you to decide. I feel like if you wanted him to, he would come. Okay. So it's going to be your choice. You have more power in this situation than you think you do, and that you're taking responsibility for. All right. So take some time to do some real reflection, figure out what it is that you're really afraid of, so that you can start to empower yourself and say, okay, I'm willing to take this leap, and I trust that I'm going to be safe and provided for, because at the root of this, there's a real need for safety and security. Okay. And that's how I want to answer that question. All right, Laura, thank you for being here tonight. Beautiful. Okay. Next question. Hi, Angela. Well, Angela says, wondering if my father has any messages for me. Okay. I don't do mediumship requests on YouTube, as you know, Angela. I usually do them in an oracle gathering or in a mediumship reading, but let me see if I have anything here for you, just because I know that you came to the gathering and you had to leave. So. Um, so, okay, are you still here, Angela? It's okay. You're fine. Are you still here? I can see. Okay, so if I just need you to be here to validate. So uh, your dad, what I feel, okay, is he's saying to calm down, to not be so stressed, to not take on so much. Okay. The other thing that's coming through is just like a real surge of reassurance that everything's going to work out. Okay, everything's going to be okay. You're too in your head trying to figure out solutions. Okay. I feel like you're trying to solve a lot of problems right now, whether it's for your family, your mom, your other family. Angela says, I am. Okay. So it feels like you're really in your head trying to solve a lot of problems right now, and it's depleting your energy. It's depriving you of sleep. It's affecting your nervous system. It's causing a tremendous amount of stress. And it is you're not centered. Okay, and so you need to come out of this energy field that you're in. And I know that you're, I think, but it feels like you're moving out of your current environment right now, so there's something coming up that's going to give you a chance to take a break from where you are, so you can just kind of put this down for a while. You need to unplug. Your dad is I feel like his energy, his hand is coming through. He's got like kind of a She's got a chubby hand, kind of thick fingers, and it feels like there's I can see this pinky ring on his finger. That's kind of cutting. Seems like it's very very tight, and it might even be cutting off the circulation a little bit. And she says, I'm very worried about my aging mother. I'm constantly feeling like I'm not doing enough. Yeah, I feel that. Okay. So again, your dad is coming through with this really tight ring, and the ring is flat on the top, and it's kind of like he's showing it to say, like, it's almost like he's giving you his hand and showing you the strength in his hand, and showing you the reason the tight ring is kind of symbolic in this conversation is because he's showing that it's too tight around you. The circumstances are suffocating you. Okay, you can't breathe, and you can't function in the way that this is not sustainable. Okay, the way that you're operating, you need to take a breath. Okay, and loosen up a little bit. Loosen your grip. Again, the hand with the tight ring is a symbol. It's like loosening your grip on the situation, on what's happening with your mom. Angela says, yes. Okay. So letting go of trying to fix everything. You can't fix all the problems. This is the message from your father. You can't. He tried to fix all the problems. It feels like he tried to always come up with solutions and solve things and so on. You can't do this. Okay. So he wants you to not run yourself into the ground. Okay. I'm clenching my heart. Okay. Um, he wants you to relax and trust that you've done everything you can. You're doing the best you can, and there's only so much you can do. Like, you have to reach that point of acceptance of, like, I've done enough. I've reached maximum capacity. I feel like you don't have that little gauge that says I've reached maximum capacity. I can't do more than this. It's too much. I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. This is the energy that I feel. Okay, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm trying to serve you in love, because you need to hear this from your father, from your spirit team. That it's time for you to relax and let go and take a deep breath and just take a break. Okay, there's only so much you can do for your mom. She is aging, and this is part of the natural unfolding of the cycle of life. I feel like you've done so much for her that you've reached a point now where you can just let it be. Okay, and learn to detach from it. All right, because you're struggling. You're so enmeshed that you're struggling. Okay, so your dad wants you to take a break and just stop. Just pause and be still and unplug from this energy and take care of yourself. Okay, that's a message from your father. How do I deal with guilt? She says. Okay, I'm going to answer this question, then we'll move on. Self-love is the remedy for guilt. Self-love, self-acceptance. There's nothing for you to feel guilty about. your mom is aging, and so that's this is part of her natural cycle of life. You can't prevent this any more than you can fix the problems. Okay. Angela says you'll have to show me how to detach. Yeah, it requires inner work. It requires inner work to just accept that everyone's having the experience they're supposed to have, even when it's uncomfortable. Look, it's hard. I want to empathize that it's very hard to deal with an aging parent and to be in a caretaker role, which you've taken on. It can be very draining, and what you've done is beautiful. You've given so much of your love and so much of your time and your attention, but she's also become a project, right? And she's become a source of your need for feeling like you're doing a good job and feeling like you've done right by her. And it's kind of like you're enmeshed in this, and you have to unhook your energy and surrender her well-being to something bigger than you. This is how you detach. You surrender her well-being to something bigger than both of you. You do the physical things that you can do, that don't push you over the edge, where you don't feel like you've hit maximum capacity. And as soon as you feel like you've hit maximum capacity, that's when you draw a boundary and you take a break, and you learn to love yourself. And you say, okay, I've done what I can do for today. That's all I can do. And now I trust that her life is in, you know, is in the hands of the creator, of the divine, of spirit. And there's only so much I can do. Okay. So this is my message for you. I'm sending you so much love and compassion and empathy and support for the caregiving role that you're in. You need to take care of yourself. Okay. Self-love is how you deal with guilt. It's how you take space. There's nothing for you to feel guilty about. You've gone above and beyond. And this is what your father wants you to know too. You've gone above and beyond. You consistently go above and beyond. But this way of operating is not sustainable. Okay. There's going to be a huge void in your life too. Once, your mother passes and there's no one left to care for it, there's going to be a huge void in your life. Okay. So the way we start to prepare for this is that we start to build a life that's our own. We start to fill our own cup. We engage in self-love. You take time for yourself. You set proper boundaries. You keep the focus on you so that you are serving you. And by doing that, you're also benefiting her. Okay. I hope that makes sense. All right. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Whew, just one moment. The questions are coming a little fast, Larry. Give me a moment. Okay. Jolie, I'll be right with you. Just disconnect from Angela's process and her death. All right. Jolie says, do you see another major issue being raised with my ex-husband? Okay, Jolie, let's see. Yes. The short answer is yes. I feel like he goes away for a little while and then he comes back with something, or it gets better and there's another flare up. Okay. And this has to do with your daughter. I actually feel like there's one more major hurdle for you to overcome until he really kind of lets go. And then you're able to say, okay, now I have what I want and I have what I need, and I'm fully sovereign and I can move forward. Okay. So the way that you help this energetically, again, by doing the inner work, we shift our circumstances. By coming out of fear and embodying unconditional love and remembering that we're sovereign and developing our own relationship with spirit where we can listen to our own intuitive guidance, these are all the tools that you need to really access your own inner wisdom. Okay. So when I tune into your higher self is saying, the way to shift this dynamic once and for all is to stop wanting something from him and stop needing something from him. Okay. Those two things. Let it go, let him go, and stop fighting him for things. As soon as you do that, he will start to loosen his grip and he will stop making problems in your life. Okay. But you're kind of poking at each other, it feels like, right? So there's one more obstacle around your daughter, it feels like, and then I feel like he lets it go. But it's going to require you detaching. Again, this is the same message I gave Angela. And it's the same that came through for Poppy earlier. It's like detaching from the outcome opens up the way for you to receive what it is that you deeply desire. Okay. That's why I want to answer that question, Judy. Thank you for being here tonight. Okay. That's a message for you. Beautiful. Okay. Hi, Demi. I'm gonna say Demi. Demi X was here. I'll call you Demi for short. Hi, Sabrina. I wanted to ask what my guides have to say regarding what is coming next for my career. Also, who might be my guides? Oh, this is a great question. Okay. Let's see what I have for you. You have an ant in spirit that's around you, an ant or a great ant, it feels like. And I want to go as far as to say, like, I'm hearing the word Colette or Colleen, something along those lines. Um, and so I'm seeing this circle, and it actually looks like uh, a drum, like one of those round shamanic drums. And the reason this comes through for you as a symbol is because there's something about the drumming that helps open your heart and ground you and bring you into your body. It can be a practice that you incorporate for yourself so that you can learn to sit in your body, be in your body. Again, the grounding message is a pattern tonight, and all the messages that are coming through, really being in your body and listening to your heart. Again, the this woman, this older woman that I feel in spirit, I feel is also like she's a teacher, a school teacher or a guide or some kind of teaching capacity. And I feel like she's helping you awaken your own gifts and your own purpose and passions. Okay. So when you ask what's next for your career, there's something about teaching or training or developing your abilities. Okay. So she's kind of coming in to remind you of where you come from and what your gifts are. I actually feel like this woman is very crafty. This woman that I feel in spirit. I don't know if you're still here. Please validate. Oh, hi, David. I see you. Please validate if you're still here to me. Okay, so again, this woman is very crafty. She's kind of like it's either she's doing needlepoint or knitting or she's doing some kind of handwork, and she's reminding you to focus on your art and your artistic expression. So there's something about teaching and training and developing your artistic abilities that's going to help open up your career path. Okay, whatever you're in right now is something that's not bringing you joy. It's kind of you feel like you're stuck in. There's more for you in this life, in this expression. And the best thing to do is to lean into your ancestry. And in fact, if you have a parent or a family member that can validate the existence of this ant, that would be great. And the more questions you ask, the more you explore this relationship with her, you're going to get a lot more clarity. And then you come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay, Demi? And of course, feel free to validate here. Otherwise, you can leave a comment at the end of the video. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, who's next? Hi, Sybil. Sybil says, hi, Sabrina. My question is, will I meet anybody serious for a long-term relationship in 2026? Thank you. Okay, good. I love these questions. So, okay, so here's the thing. I love answering these questions in two ways. I will give you my psychic hit, and then I will give you the spiritual guidance that you need in order to develop this in your life. Okay, because you can have whatever your heart desires. We just need to do some inner work, which I'll channel for you in a moment, to allow these circumstances to unfold effortlessly. Okay, so Sybil, the first thing I want to say to you is that I don't know if you're living with people or like in a shared living environment, but I feel like there's a move coming for you. So as you move out and move more towards your own independence and your own sovereignty, you create some space in your life and you create some, it's almost like you're purging and you're detoxing from some relationships that are pulling at your energy. And the more you clear up that space, the more you move into maybe a space where you're living by yourself. Again, if you're here, please validate, so I know that this is landing for you. Again, it feels like you're in a shared living environment. When you're moving out, moving into your own space, this is a very specific message. Your own space is not only a literal thing, but it's also a metaphorical thing. Sybil says yes. Okay, good. So as you move out into this your own space, you're kind of creating this experience of sovereignty. You're learning how to meet your own needs. You're putting yourself first, and you're learning to take care of you. Okay. And as you're doing this, magic happens, right? You become more magnetic, you become more self-honoring, you become more embodied in unconditional love, and you become more attractive to the opposite sex or to whoever it is that you want to be in loving relationship with. So this is the path that you're on. Okay. So there's a part of you that wants to meet somebody now so you can have somebody to sort of like move on with, but it's not going to work that way for you. Okay. You need to take those steps for yourself first, claim your independence, your personal sovereignty first and foremost, learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. This is a very important karmic lesson for you. And as you're doing that and cultivating yourself and figuring out, what your capacity is and what you can create on your own, you're attracting like-minded relationships into your life, and you're going to attract this beloved person into your life, which I actually feel will be in 2026 because you are moving out of these circumstances. It's going to be bumpy for the next few months, but it's necessary. So don't get discouraged. This is your confirmation that you need to move on and move out and focus on putting your needs first. And it's by doing this, by moving into an environment that's beneficial to you, that helps you meet all of your own needs, that you meet somebody that can meet you in the same love that you're giving yourself. Okay? That's my message for you tonight. Simple. I hope that landed for you. Thank you for being here. Hi, Dave. Sorry, I want to say hi to my friend Dave. Hi. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us live. Okay, Lyriel, who's next? And then we will close it. Hi, Ara. Nice to see you here. Ara says, hi, Sabrina. My mother got into a nursing home. Thank you for your guidance. Oh, good. I'm happy. I'm grateful that she is being cared for. Her dementia is getting worse. Do you see anything about her health? I mean, this is like Angela, yeah, same message. I mean, this is the natural cycle of life. Okay. Her health is kind of unraveling. Her being in the nursing home is actually helping her extend her life. It's actually helping manage the quality of life. It feels like they're taking really good care of her. She's doesn't fully know where she is, but she knows on a soul level that she's safe. Okay. So my guidance for you, my psychic hit is that, she's exactly where she's supposed to be. I don't like to predict, how much time a person has left on the planet, but this is you're entering into the last phase of her life. Okay. So my advice to you is to just be present, to when you visit her, to just be in unconditional love, to be in acceptance, and to start to I think what would be beneficial to her too, she really likes it when you bring photo albums in. It's just messages kind of coming through clairvoyantly. She likes it when you bring photo albums in and you show her who's who and what's what, and you sort of explain to her the story of your family life, what's happening in your family, what's happening at home. It can be an actual physical album or it can be pictures on your phone, but she likes it when you do that. Okay. So continue to visit her and spend time with her in close proximity. Just being in the presence of unconditional love is very healing for her. It's very soothing for her, even though she doesn't have like full cognitive awareness of what's happening. She can feel your heart. She can feel you on a soul level. And that's the most important thing. That's the best gift that you can give to your mom right now. Okay. Her health is, she's letting go. And so I think it's important. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. She's letting go. And so I think it's important for you to usher her out. This is what we can do for all of our loved ones, is to usher them out with grace and compassion and gratitude for the life that they've lived and the life that they've given us. And it's our turn to sort of mirror back to them, the same grace and the same compassion and the same peace that we want them to have. Okay, so essentially, this is your time with her to just make the most of the time that you have as she continues to let go. I feel like um, I actually feel like her parents are around her, okay, in spirit, and you might even feel them when you go visit with her, okay? So just be mindful of that, the thinning of the veil, okay? She's experiencing that, okay? So again, this is a beautiful thing, okay? So the end of life is only difficult for those of us that are left behind. And it can be a peaceful thing if we see it as a graceful transition into what's next for her soul's evolution. Keeping in mind that the physical incarnation we're all in is temporary. This 3D experience is temporary, and it's not the end of us, right? We move into our eternal, loving, source consciousness when this life ends. Okay, that's my message for you, Laura. Okay, sending you so much love to you and your mom. Right, beautiful. Okay. Any more questions for tonight? Shiloh, good to see you. Shiloh says, good evening, Oracle community. Listening in. If there's a word coming through, I'll receive it in and with gratitude. Okay. Okay. Shiloh, here's what I want to say to you. When I tap into your energy, I feel like, I don't know if you have a painting of this, a sculpture of this, or a picture of this in your altar or something at home, but there's like it looks like a deity. I don't know if it's a Mother Mary or some depiction of Mary. But there is a really strong presence of like compassion for you and what you're going through right now, and just reminding you to be anchored and grounded in your own feminine power. Okay, so self-honoring. Okay, keep setting those boundaries. I feel like you have this Mother Mary presence around you that's really kind of looking over your shoulder, connecting with you, and reminding you that you've been through so much, you've given so much, you've had so much sacrifice. I don't have that, she says. Okay, all right. So yeah, it's some kind of Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene depiction that I'm seeing. Okay, so if you don't currently have that, it would be a good idea to get some kind of image of that, or you put it in your altar, put it in wherever you do your spiritual practice, so you really feel the presence of this feminine power coming through for you. Okay, so again, honoring yourself and taking, I want to say to you, like, not to put up with energy that doesn't honor you. Okay, so setting those healthy boundaries. This has to do with your workplace. Okay, a lot of having to draw strong lines. Oh, I do have my mother's pendant. Okay, all right, good. Well, it always clicks at some point. So there you go. So again, this mother energy, Mother Mary energy, again, just connecting with that strength, and like you said, drawing those lines, setting those boundaries. This is work related, so just making sure that you're honoring yourself and that you're saying no. You have more capacity to say no. There's more room for you to say no than you think there is. You actually have more power than you think you do. Okay, yes, it's been terrible. Okay, yeah, I see that, I feel that. So really stay grounded and rooted in the work that you said yes to and the job that you agreed to do. And all of that other stuff is extraneous. Okay. And I actually feel like there is HR, or there's like there's like some kind of third party or advocate for you on your behalf. Okay. So it feels like you're forging some kind of, she goes, always, I'm exhausted by the toxicity. Okay. Yeah. So again, it feels like there's someone there for you in your corner. Okay. So continue to build your relationship with this person, or this department rather, and continue to say no and set your boundaries, like really put that energetic shield around you when you go to work. Prepare yourself mentally in the morning before you go in, and just do the job you agreed to do. Okay. I feel like there's an end coming to this toxicity. Okay. So whoever it is that's responsible, how will the big event go? I think this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm just about to channel here. There's an end coming here. She's like, I am HR. Okay, good. Okay, beautiful. Okay, that makes sense. So continue to document everything, because there's something above you or something outside of you, third party, that you can build a bridge with, build a relationship with, that's going to help the situation. I actually feel like there's going to be a big change coming in this work environment. The assistant hired has been gunning for my job. Okay. Yeah, there's like I said, there's a big change coming. I don't feel like your job is under any kind of threat, but you do need to keep setting proper boundaries. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't want to get too deep into the circumstances with you. I'm happy to go into it in a reading if you like, but for the general reading tonight, the message from spirit is to maintain your boundaries and maintain integrity, and keep developing, keep documenting everything, so that you can build this bridge with some kind of third party. There's someone who can help you, but it's not in the organization, it's outside of the organization. Okay. She says, okay, I will reach out. Okay. She's conniving. Okay. Yes, please reach out. And let's work through this together, the details. But your job is not in any kind of threat. It's you have to stop feeling like letting go of this unconscious belief that somehow bad things are going to happen, or there's people out to get you, or there's people that you can't trust. Okay. um and I know that you have so much evidence, but as you do the work to really just choose, like, I trust the job that I'm in, I trust the role that I'm in, I trust that I'm the one for this role, I trust the environment that I've created for myself. And again, it feels like there is someone outside of this organization that can help you. Okay. So if you haven't connected with who that is yet, start to do some research, because there's a way out of this. Okay. I feel like this big event, whatever this is going to go in your favor. All right. So that's why I want to answer that question. All right, Jen. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Okay, Denny says, yes, I'm in internship right now and I feel stuck, but I'm growing at the same time. Okay, good. I'm glad the message resonated for you. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here with me tonight. It's good to be with you all. It's 6:05. I don't know where the time flies. I hope the message has landed. Hearts to you, Shiloh. Hearts to everybody. Thank you, everyone who participated. Thank you for trusting me with your process, with your questions, for allowing me to tune into your energy. Again, remember that the future is not set in stone. If we take personal responsibility to shift our own belief system, our actions, the way we feel about ourselves, ultimately, as we learn to embody unconditional love, we change our energy. When we shift our energy, we can shift our circumstances with ease and effortlessness, and we end up exactly where we're supposed to be always. Okay. Learning the lessons that we need to learn. And of course, through spiritual guidance, you can learn these lessons with grace, with ease, and with love. And please let me know how these messages landed for you. Feel free to like and subscribe for those of you that haven't done that yet. Also, the last thing I want to leave you with before we end tonight is L'Oreal has created a link for the holidays. This is for those of you that want to give the gift of connection to your loved ones, whether it's through a psychic reading or a mediumship connection. There's the gift to purchase a gift card. If you want to put this in an envelope or email it to your loved one for the holidays, that's available to you. Okay. And for those of you that are considering membership, as I mentioned, if you join the Inner Oracle Community membership, you get access to our gathering. We just had our monthly gathering yesterday. It was a beautiful, powerful circle of like-minded seekers. They got mediumship connections from their loved ones. And you also have access to our private Facebook community, which I'm there live every Tuesday. Every Friday, Lyriel does a card pull, which is a lot of fun as well. And you have access to my whole spiritual library, members-only content on my YouTube channel. Okay. And for now, I'm sending you all my love. And I will see you on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Good night, everybody.